No, you got to do what you do. You can't sit and say, I'll worry about not rushing him, then I'll worry about him setting and you let him throw it. Then you don't, then you pressure him, then he scrambles. You got to play football. You got to take the gaps away. You got to stay disciplined in your rush lanes. You got to cover people. Then you got to react to the football and play. And you got to set edges on your defense. And then you got to play.
All right, you keeping track on all those ways to stop Jalen Hurts?
It's a lot.
Jimbo Fisher says that you can't focus on one thing with Jalen Hurts, so then how do you stop him?
Well, you just have to be disciplined and play quality, sound football. And speaking from a former defensive back perspective, when you're playing against a mobile quarterback, you may have to cover a lot longer than what you would want to based on going against pocket quarterbacks. So your plaster skills needs to be in high alert. And when I say plaster, that's a football term we use in the secondary, which means plaster to the wide receiver. You want to stick with the wide receiver much longer than what you would usually do because Jalen can make plays with his legs. He can evade defenders, and with that being said, he's in the pocket moving around, and when quarterbacks move around, what usually happens? Wide receivers move around. And that's where you see wide receivers may run a post or a corner route. They break it off, and now they're just playing backyard football, and they're trying to get open. So from the defender standpoint, my job is to stay with you and never, ever peek in the backfield because once you look to see what's going on in the backfield, you lose sight and feel of that wide receiver, and now he's open, and Jalen is a player that can make plays like that. Most mobile quarterbacks have that attribute.
But at some point, you've got to turn and become tackler, right?
Yeah, but you don't. My job in the secondary, my secondary coach used to always emphasize, don't try to make a play in the backfield. That's not your responsibility. Allow the first and second level guys to do what they're supposed to do. And if he ever breaks the line of scrimmage, then you come up. You never want to be too early and coming up to help and lose sight of your wide receiver because if he's open, there's a good chance if he catches the football, it's a touchdown. So you rather have Jalen Hurts scramble for 10, 12 yards than lose sight of your wide receiver, and it's a 50, 60-yard play because those are big plays you can't not allow against anybody, especially Alabama.
Gosh, a lot of things you got to keep in your mind and be aware of with Jalen Hurts.
Be gap sound from the first level and make your play when you need, when it comes to you. You should be okay.
The guy on the other side, DeAndre Francois,
he can do the same.
Pretty good, too. It's only Monday. We get to talk about this game all week on Campus
Ray,
Insiders.
I hope you're fired up, Ray.
We're ready to go. Weekdays all week at 4:30 Eastern right here on Stadium. See you then.